welcome to Ark and Dove Presbyterian Church in Odenton, Maryland. I'm Brian Boudreaux, the Clerk of Session at Ark and Dove, and your host here in the lobby, the weekly program of the goings-on at Ark and Dove. So today is All Saints' Day, a rare occasion that the celebration falls precisely on that day. So during the service, we will remember those saints close to us we lost in the last year. Also, I hope everybody remembered to change their clocks last night and they got an extra hour of sleep. My guest today is Amy Goldberg, a newer member at Ark and Dove. But first, let's dive into this week's announcements. Have you participated in the Campfire Quarrels yet? You can join the Campfire Quarrels around the campfire on church grounds on the second Wednesday of the month for a healthy conversation of controversies in our time. Bring a chair, a non-alcoholic beverage, some s'more supplies if you want, bug repellent, and the intention to social distance. And they will enjoy each other's company as they create faithful responses to conflicts in our time. So the next one will be November 11th from 7 to 8:30. This topic will be presidential support and opposition. Now, because space is limited, please RSVP with Pastor John. Pastor Tim is leading a 5-week experience on ancient prayer practices on Tuesday evenings at 7 via Zoom. That's based on the book Creating a Life with God, The Call of Ancient Prayer Practices by Don Wolpert. So please contact Pastor Tim for details and to register for the Zoom invitation. Join Kim Champagne every Wednesday evening at 7:30 until November 25th for a discussion around Diana Butler Bass's book, Grateful. You don't have to read the book to participate, and Bass's course in gratitude offers a different approach to all the negativity. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. is a weekly Bible study on the upcoming Sunday scriptures. I've been assured that there is no commitment or homework, so contact Pastor John for the Zoom invitation. Newly added to our slate of activities is the Healing Through Grief small group with a particular focus on the holidays. This will be a Zoom session on Wednesday, November 11th from 7 to 8:15. For more information and to sign up to receive a Zoom link, contact Pastor Tim or Linny Girdner. For our youth, don't forget to join Godly Play each Sunday from 9 to 9:40 via Zoom. It's for kids grades K through 5. And Logos continues to have fun, family-centered activities each week to do either at home or outside the church. There are crafts, games, Bible study, and opportunities for worship and mission. If you're not already on the weekly email list, please contact Amy Goldberg. Additionally, there is still a need for volunteers. Jenny Roman can take your name. And now for some fun social events. Sunday Fellowship is right after service at 11:15. Email fellowship at Ark and Dove to get a Zoom invitation if you don't already have one. The Crafting Small Group meets on the first Monday and third Wednesday evening of each month at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Amy Tardif has details for you. Saturday game night with the Deacons. They play code names. You can get a Zoom invitation from Ellen and Greg Makar. The Friendly Seniors Tea at 3 every Thursday on Zoom. Pastor Tim has the Zoom invite for you. Now, as I described last week, over the next couple of weeks on the lobby, we are going to take a look at Ark and Dove then and now. Last week, we talked to Linda Lewis, a charter member of Ark and Dove. And this week, we're going to talk to Amy Goldberg, who joined Ark and Dove just this March. So welcome, Amy. I'm glad to get to talk to you. How are you and the family doing?
Thank you, Brian. We're doing very well. Thank you for asking. We are very fortunate to be able to work from home during this time so that we can help our oldest through virtual learning. So kids are very resilient. We're doing very well and we're hanging in there.
Oh, that's great news. So let's set the scene just a little bit. For those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
Sure. So my name is Amy Goldberg. My husband is Ethan, and then we have 2 girls. My oldest is 9, her name's Emma, and my youngest is 4, and her name's Elia. We've lived in this area for going on 6 years now. I've been married for 10 years. I grew up in the Christian faith, and my husband grew up in the Jewish faith. But we do raise our children in the Christian faith, obviously being here at Ark and Dove. I work in the city in Baltimore. I'm a senior administrative manager for T. Rowe Price, which is a retirement investment firm. And my husband does specialty IT at BWI Airport.
What attracted you then to Ark and Dove? What made you say this is the place I want to try and this is where I want to go?
Sure. So I grew up as an Air Force brat, so to speak. We traveled around the country, and my father grew up Baptist, my mother grew up Catholic. So we went to several different churches and several different denominations as I grew up, but I never really found my spiritual home. And then, of course, I married my husband, who's of the Jewish faith. He does not go to temple, and we did agree to raise our children in the Christian faith. So we tried to go to several churches, just none really fit. So one day, we kind of stopped looking after a while. And then my daughter in January of this year, she looked at me and she said, "Mommy, I really want to go to church." So we started the search again to find a spiritual home. And what's really important to us is that we found a place that was welcoming to people of all lifestyles. So I went on gaychurch.org to find an affirming church, and typed in my zip code, and then Ark and Dove was just down the street. And we had passed by the sign so many times. I'd never been to a Presbyterian church before, but when I went on the website, I was so impressed by the mission work and the community and all the work that Ark and Dove does. So we decided to give it a shot, and we started in January during the Christ in the Country series, when Pastor Tim and Pastor John were talking about, gun violence and immigration and housing reform. And it really connected with us. It really hit home for us because we've never seen a church tackle such difficult issues and relate them to God in so many ways. And it really spoke to us. My daughter loves godly play. She even joined the choir. So from that first day, we were hooked. And even my husband started joining me at the church, and he really enjoys coming in the community.
So last week, Linda talked about the longest walk. Now, that's a little fresher in your memory probably than others. So what was that like for you? That first time you pulled up to Ark and Dove and that walk from your car to the front door?
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking because I wasn't quite sure what to expect. As I said, I've been to a lot of churches, and some mega churches, some smaller churches, but it's always very hard going somewhere where you don't know anyone and not sure what to expect. But from the moment I walked up to the door, someone opened the door and greeted me, and then every single person who was in the lobby, because we went to the later service, so there was fellowship going on in between services, and every single person walked up to us and talked to me and my girls. It was really welcoming. It was really heartwarming. Even Pastor John walked up, gave me his card, offered to go to coffee. Just Nicole Howell came right up to me. "What's your name? How are you? How are you doing?" And, it felt so much like a home and like a community and like a family. And I'd never been welcomed before at a church like that. So it really put my mind at ease. And I knew that, this is someplace that we could stay for the long haul.
Right. Right. I think a lot of us have had that experience too. I think that's just a characteristic of Ark and Dove. So you've been coming, you started coming in January. You joined the church. You were one of the first virtual initiates. So most of your time here at Ark and Dove has been virtual then. So, but that hasn't stopped you from getting involved. You're an important part of Logos. I say your name every Sunday to remind people to sign up and to get the email for Logos. But what compelled you to jump right in like that?
It's one thing to check the box and go to church on Sundays. But that's not what we're looking for in growing our faith and being part of a community. So what I love about Ark and Dove is that there is so much to be able to get involved in, and community is really important to us. Working with the community, just being at Ark and Dove, I've done the healing through grief with Lenny when my grandfather passed away in April, and I've joined Logos so that I can be more involved in my children's spiritual growth. When that's been amazing. I've gone to the Campfire Quarrels to talk about difficult issues and how it relates to our lives. It's wonderful to be able to put God's work in action. Like, it's not just, like I said, checking the box and saying, "I'm a Christian, I went to church today." We are able to really get involved and grow ourselves and be part of a community of like-minded individuals who, are just trying to be closer to God and to be good people and, to be helpers. And so that's what we really love. And there's just so many opportunities. Even my husband just joined the, I guess it's the indoor-outdoor team that works on the church grounds and helps to keep things up. You know, there's so many different ways to use our talents and to get involved. And I think that's what's been really phenomenal and just made me want to jump even further in. I wish I had more time to help and to do things. But, you know, I'm really glad to be able to just work with Logos at the moment. So.
Yeah. So last week I asked Linda a bunch of questions about Ark and Dove, but that probably wouldn't be fair to do to you. So let's turn the tables just a little bit and let's play everything you ever wanted to know about Ark and Dove, but were afraid to ask. So what I mean is I want you to think of maybe some questions that you might have about Ark and Dove that we haven't answered yet.
Well, thank you for not asking me, because I'm pretty sure I would fail that quiz. How has it affected your spiritual growth going to a virtual environment and not being able to attend in person?
You know, I very much look forward to, well, before I looked forward to Sunday, like Sunday, I loved going to church. I was part of the choir. Of course, I was a lay reader and you know, of course, always in the lobby after between services. But I still find that with the in-person, or well, with the live streaming service, you know, that we're trying to recreate those experiences as best we can. You know, I've been able to participate in the virtual choir experiences that we've had, and I think while we can't all meet in person, being able to see the culmination of those activities that we do during the week and to see that on Sunday morning has been very rewarding. It's also been an interesting experience too to be at home and to then bring the spirituality and faith into our home itself. When I participated a lot, you know, in the service, this has required me to sort of slow down and now observe the services as well.
Another question, you know, this is a really difficult time for a lot of people, and it's only brought me closer to my faith, and I'm really lucky that we found Ark and Dove before we went to this virtual environment. But during this time, I'm not sure if you know the answer to the question, but has Ark and Dove seen any increase in, you know, membership? You know, I know that we're on YouTube and things like that, but have the numbers gone up? Because this is a really difficult time, and I think a lot of people are looking for some help right now.
Our congregational numbers have stayed the same. We haven't seen a decrease in that sense. We do see a fluctuation in the number of people who are watching live on Sunday morning, but we also see a lot of people are checking in over the week and watching the videos. I will say, though, that a lot of people who were members of Ark and Dove before, they were members before and they left the area, are able to reconnect. And we do have several people who are participating in some of the small groups who don't even live in Odenton or the nearby area. So while I can't give you a concrete number, I do know just anecdotally that that we're seeing more people who aren't in Odenton able to participate in Ark and Dove.
So when did you and your family start attending Ark and Dove, and what was, you know, the moment that really hit your family to keep coming back?
We had one time where you know, children are such an important part of Ark and Dove, and there was a moment when we were early on where all the children in the children's choir were sort of called up to sing. Now, my children had not participated in any of that, but my daughter just got up and walked to the front of the church with all the other children and stood there and sang like she knew what she was doing. And nobody said a word. Like, she just completely fit in with the rest of the group, and that was a sign to us as well that this was a very welcoming church. So thank you so much for joining me today, Amy. I've been waiting to pick your brain for a while now, so I'm glad you and your family are part of the community now. So thanks again for joining me.
Thank you, Brian. It was a pleasure to come, and again, we're just so happy that we found such a wonderful family at Ark and Dove. It's our spiritual home.
Wonderful. Well, as always, and thank you for joining us today. Check out the e-archive and on the Ark and Dove webpage for more information, and email your announcements for the lobby to worship@arkandove.org. This Tuesday is Election Day, so remember, if you haven't voted already, to do so. Sunday Fellowship will follow the service at 11:15. Have a great week, wear your mask, and the live stream service will begin in a moment.